And going in 3, 2, 1. And really, Sam, I'm excited because it's terrible. And the whole thing's terrible.
What's terrible this time?
WotC has come and made this horrible fusion of Oprah and Donald Trump. Full fusion dance. They've come together, and it's all like, you're fired! And you are fired! Everyone, look under your seat! There's a pink slip and an unemployment form. And we don't do severance packages?
Get them out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, they're firing everyone. Like, at least 1,000 people. That's the news all over the place this week.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
At this point, that it's like, again, WotC? Like, again?
They had to get one last one for 2023. We thought they were done last week. They pulled some shenanigans. I lost track of what the shenanigan was because it's something new every week.
They couldn't wait till the end of the year.
Dude, I couldn't keep up with the Kardashians because, like, that's exhausting. And now I'm supposed to keep up with WotC? Hell nah. But 2 weeks before Christmas, you're fired. Get out of here.
Yeah. The people thought they were done. Hold their beer. They were not done yet.
And you would think they'd at least have like a secret Santa. Maybe that's how they found out they were fired.
Secret Santa with pink slips? Oh my god.
You strategically waited for me to take a sip, you bastard.
No, I didn't.
Oh, damn. You'd think that Secret Santa and Wizards of the Coast would be fun. I got a dice tower. I got dice. Magic cards.
I got fired.
I got a pink slip and unemployment form.
Oh, no.
Damn. Who knew I had it better at Pizza Hut? I mean, like, I actually got a dice tower.
Dude, that's nice. Where is it? Let's see it.
Okay. You know what? It's right there. I can grab it.
I would like to see the Pizza Hut dice tower, please.
Hell yeah. Yeah, shit. What a great open to the show to anyone watching.
I'm ready
to see this dice tower.
I'll show you after the stream, Sam.
I
forgot that I had moved it. I had to rearrange my entire setup, and I'm in my living room tonight, as people can see. D&D books and 3D printer all strewn about.
With that disappointment out of the way, let's start the show.
And welcome to Dungeons and Talkshows, the talk show that brings you monsters, news, and firings. I am your host, Orion.
I am your host, Sam. Welcome back to this episode.
It's good to be here. And with us today, we have a fantastic guest, the man who brought you the Billowing Wilds. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Thank you. Hey, I'm Felix. I'm the GM and creator of Fool's Gold and the Into the Bellowing Wilds campaign setting from the Dingo Doodles YouTube channel.
Nice.
And I'm also currently creating a Fool's Gold video game. So
Ooh.
lots going on.
Ooh.
I like the video games.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to come out.
Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to come out in front of it. I've been a fan of Dingo Doodles for a long time now, from Tarrasque to where we're at now. It's a wild ride.
Right.
It has been quite a ride, and it's weird that I get to keep riding it. I just played some D&D with my friends, and now I just get to relive this until the day I die. But at least it was a good story. Like, I'm not forever being memorized for something I wasn't too proud of.
That's
I mean,
true.
You did bring us the dire Tarrasque.
Someone had to do it. Watsy wouldn't have gotten it wrong.
He's not wrong.
Thank you. You did us a service.
Players everywhere. Fuck you. Why?
Yeah.
What is
GMs
it
everywhere.
for?
Thank you. No, I'm happy to be dispensing chaos at other people's tables
man.
and just absorbing the cries of rage and tears from the players to fuel me.
We very much enjoy that kind of thing too. Every week we're just like, chaotic idea. Well, what if X, Y, and Z? And the next thing you know, Draco werepires everywhere.
We're just
beautiful.
The players listening to us are like, "What do you say fuck me for? Don't give my DM more ideas."
I want to give all the DMs all the ideas.
Literally.
Absolutely, yeah. I should just call it like the DM's arsenal, like the book.
Oh, that's
It's like here,
Ooh.
all the ways to kill your players.
Yeah.
You know what? That would sell very well. That's got a very good clickbaity type title. That'll fly off the shelf.
Like 1,000 ways to die, but like 1,000 ways to torment your players.
Oh my god.
That right there. See? He's already
Write
on
that
his
down.
way.
DM that right now.
Yeah.
I mean, with Watsy basically jumping off a cliff, the waters are ripe. That's not the right word, but it's all open season here. You can write all the good books you want, and with titles like that, but bam, people will eat that right up.
I mean, the more Watsy screws around, the more people are gonna support independent creators more and more. Like
Definitely.
They keep trying to rake it into themselves, but the more they try that, the more they keep pushing their own customers away to independence. Like, and I like that better. I mean, I always think it's better when you have a bunch of small creators rather than like a big monopoly. So
absolutely,
it almost makes me think that like Hasbro may end up funding, the small creators instead of like one centralized business like Watsy, because it's not working, and it's obvious that it's not working.
I mean, that's what I would have done.
Yeah,
I'd be like, all these little guys, just throw money at them and let them make more of it. It's like planting seeds.
Yeah, there's infinite better ways to handle it, but that's what happens with short-term thinking, right? You're trying to squeeze everything out of it now, and then later you throw the dead husk of a business away, rather than growing it, letting it flourish, working with the community, not against them.
I think with D&D, like especially, it's a hard thing to milk in itself, and they're struggling to like find a leg hold,
I get some joy out of that, of like some highly paid like Hasbro executives being like, we have like the biggest role play IP. Why can we not milk this better? Like,
what are we doing wrong?
How do we make it better? How do we make it work?
And now they're probably firing people because they're like, all right, well, so we'll start over, hire a bunch of new people.
They should be firing from the top down, not the bottom up.
They never would. Never.
No, it's the rot comes from the root here. Like it's definitely a Hasbro issue. And I mean, like what do we even say to that? Like you have Baldur's Gate doing this amazing successful thing, and then they basically lay off all of the staff associated with it. Like that, it blows my mind.
Yeah,
it's like, good job, get the fuck out. Like what?
It kind of goes to something that me and Sam have been saying on the show for a while now, and it's just that we want everything to just crash as hard as it can with Watsy, so that all the players can rise up, buy out all the shares, and then take over the company. The biggest nerdy, hostile takeover of a union the world has ever seen.
Well, and the thing that makes this so muddy, though, is like within Watsy are genuinely amazing people that are they're catching all the flack of like the higher ups decisions. Well, in between, as just people that just want to write amazing stories and stuff. And they're like, oh, Watsy, shittiest company. And it's like, oh, like that person is just trying to make a good thing.
God. Like that's one thing that we don't want to like bash Watsy in itself, right? Because it's like they have potential to do the right thing here.
Yeah, but they're being kneecapped by Hasbro, and Hasbro's
Yeah,
like,
you
you
can
gotta
tell.
make me money. And they're just like shaking
I'm
this poor
confident.
kid till all the lunch money comes out of the pockets, but there's like, it's nickel and dimes at that point. There's no good lunch money in them pockets no more. You already shook the kid.
I mean, whoever is making those calls at Hasbro
Yeah,
is out of line, to say the least.
we don't want to get sued for like slander or anything. Respect to the people doing the good job.
Slander is only if you lie, and this is all Hasbro self-earned. We're just talking about what they did.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
not making conjecture here.
Yeah.
Honestly,
We're not saying we're gonna
nothing
do a
we can
hostile
say is any
takeover.
worse than the things that they actually do.
And that's the sad part.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, keep Hasbro away from any firearms. They'll probably shoot themselves.
Look, man, like
In the kneecap,
how
probably.
unreasonable
You know,
would
like,
it be for a company or a community company, to do a Kickstarter to eventually buy out something like Quatsi?
Can you imagine you start a Kickstarter campaign called Hostile Takeover?
yes, let's do it.
Nice towel takeover.
No, you know what? I'm serious. I wonder, can Kickstarter be used in such a way? Like,
It cannot, unfortunately, but yeah.
you know the terms and conditions, probably.
Yeah, that's why I can say that, because I do know it wouldn't be
Oh,
allowed, but
They'd be
Hostile
like,
Takeover, yeah.
I was looking at your Kickstarter just earlier today. It's like, damn, Fool's Gold asked for like what 10K to reach their goal, and damn near 2.5 million.
God.
Hot damn, you guys hit it hard. Crit
We
success.
held the second highest record for quite a while, only beaten by Avatar.
Wow.
You know what? That
In that
makes
category.
sense. That's valid.
Wait, Avatar, like the game that just came out?
Yeah, Avatar
Yeah.
Legends, I think it was called. Like,
Oh.
yeah. And duh, they should beat me. Like if they didn't, there was a serious issue in there. And
Yeah,
so I'm glad that they.
Yeah.
If I get to be second place behind that, like, absolutely everything.
Yeah.
that's
But
absolute victory. You know.
Yeah, but actually, I mean, there's other Kickstarters now that, of course, grown even larger. Like the Yokai one, just went absolutely crazy too. So
Yeah, that's
it's
the one
really
that,
awesome to see.
D&D Shorts was doing, I think.
Exactly, D&D Shorts did that. Yeah,
Mhm.
like the TTRPG space is amazing because they always just like come in droves to support like unique Kickstarter
Yeah, they're
projects.
so
It's
supportive,
awesome.
dude.
Yeah. It's probably like the best. I'm not like this is just me guessing. I would assume it's one of the best Kickstarter categories out there, like the TTRPG space.
Yeah. I would even say, like, in terms of like fandoms, or like communities, the TTRPG space is fantastic, and they're so like wholesome and supportive.
It is. I mean, overall, all communities have their good and bad sides, but
Yeah.
overall, I'd say it's a damn fine community to be a part of.
Yeah,
Agreed.
overall, definitely a net positive. I mean, like you said, you're always going to get your toxic few, and D&D is notorious for the toxic few. But I think that it's just like I've never seen so much support in any other fandom or community. It's just like we're all nerds here. We're all here to have fun. Like society beats us down every day. Just let us have our games.
And you know what? Now that we have this podcast, like I'm seeing it now more than ever. When we're talking with all these people and talking about all these homebrews, it's like to really be a part of that supportive like structure feels really good.
It's a nice, cozy home to be a part of.
Yeah,
like you can go like anybody. It's like, oh, you play D&D? Boom, 5 hour.
Oh my
god! Even longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Kickstarter lives forever.
That's so cool.
I mean, we've every opportunity I get, I say thank you for that support. It has changed our life forever, and we were able to network with a lot of really amazing people on the next few projects to unite towards some of that, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's just been. I love talking to all these people because like they all have so many vibrant ideas. It's like I want to steal that for my campaign. It's just WotC could never produce the kind of ideas that I enjoy at my table because like there's just so much that you can kind of just bring in from the whole community.
Yeah. Well, everybody's got their own flavor, right? The nice thing, because everybody does have different spices they cook with in their stories. And it's like, oh, let me see what's there. Let me try some of that.
Yeah.
There's always something new to discover.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. And you're absolutely right. Like, I love that kind of stuff. Like, just earlier this year, I saw this one Kickstarter for a whole like a Jewish lore focused kind of D&D thing. Like, if I were a lich man, and I'm just like, the pun gets me every time.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
Honestly,
yeah.
every time. I'm a sucker for dad jokes. 4 kids in, how could I not be?
Sure.
You have a so we'll allow it this
You're
time.
more qualified than most, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, I got a dad joke pass, you know.
Your resume is thick.
I would hope so. Sam, what do we got from a monster this week? I know you were really excited earlier.
Oh, yeah. So I thought, we've skirted around the dragon scene, talked about proto dragons last time, purple dragons. So it's about like hydras. I think are really cool.
So many heads.
Absolutely.
So
we
many
can talk
heads.
about hydras.
I feel like hydras don't get talked about enough, honestly.
Well, because dragons take all the limelight.
Yeah. That's why like I've been doing this dragon subject. I've been skirting around, the main chromatics, the main metallics, giving a little bit of light to the outside boys.
Yeah, it's kind of like the song goes like, Dasher, Prancer, and all these other reindeer. But do you know Rudolph?
Right.
But I mean, at that point, it's
Most
kind
people
of
don't know about
gone
these
backwards,
dragons,
actually.
purple dragons.
So, I mean, you immediately gave me the picture in my head of, Santa's sleigh being drawn by Hydra that has all of the reindeer heads.
Yes, but
That'd be
holiday
so
hydras.
cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now they have a
Let
goring
your house
attack.
be visited by the holiday Hydra.
But yeah, to anyone who isn't familiar, the Hydra was a reptilian magical beast that had anywhere from 5 to 12 heads, and very rarely may even have up to 50, which I believe Tiamat has 50 or something like that.
Well, there's some iterations of Tiamat where she's just got like a whole
she's like
dragon bouquet.
hundreds, like it's crazy.
I like how some designer was just like, we need more heads on there.
Yeah, and what's really cool about Hydras is like the more heads, the more powerful they are.
You'd think eventually they get a little bit top heavy, though.
Yeah, you would think.
Like eventually you cross, let's say, 50 heads, and it's like, is this starting to get a little heavy on the front legs? And Tiamat running around with like 100 plus is like, eventually I feel like you reach the peak power, and it's starting to become a little bit of a burden.
I feel like there's probably like
I'm just picturing like dragon heads that the necks are now like legs, and it's just slithering around like each head's
also,
a tentacle.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there's like, go ahead.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say. So, in your opinion, does each head have its own sentience? Or is it all controlled by one?
I think because usually when they show like the personalities of the heads, some of them differ, right? So I think there's probably like a few that are like independent, but they have like a central like mind, right?
Yeah, like a hive mind almost.
Yeah, because like they're constant communication with each other. They're constantly like retaining the same information or whatever. That's why like a bunch could sleep while some could stay awake.
Interesting. That's true. Yeah. I can't get the image out of my head of 100 heads on a poor creature. So.
It just rolls
to put
around.
It like into comparison with myself, like if let's say I have myself as an adventurer, and there's like 10 of me. It's like we're gonna kick some butt, with 10 of me. But if I picture 100 of me, and we're all trying to get a slice of pizza.
Yeah, you're like,
it's a problem.
Some of them got to wait their turn.
Now it's a whole operation. And it's like, we lost a head. Oh, that's great. That means now we got 2 more to deal with,
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? You would cut one and two more would grow back. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
I love the
Then I
mythology
wonder,
of the
I
Hydra.
never
though.
thought about like, do they like share the same sight line? You know what I mean? Like, are they seeing all of it at once, or is it like you can pick between?
Oh, I think for the sake of sanity, you have to stick with your own head.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, I mean, like
no,
like,
each
hey,
brain is its own processor, effectively.
right. Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like I would imagine that a Hydra's perception is much the same as, like, say, a small internet.
Mm. Yeah, I could see that. Like a,
I
like a
can see that.
spider
Like
web.
a chat
of some
room.
sort. Yeah, like a
Yeah.
chat room. Oh, yeah.
It's really just Discord up there.
Oh
you
my
know?
god, the Hydra's thought process is the Discord chat.
New
Yeah.
head who dis.
Hydras are the Discord of dragons.
I love that. Yeah, and then there's like the main, Discord mods that really have like the control. And they, like,
You got mod
commander-
heads.
So you can get banned from your own body.
Yeah, that's called they eat you and rebuild new ones.
Oh my god.
You go to ban someone and two more people join your server? That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
I
So
can't
really,
ban
we're
these
like,
people fast enough.
Tired of you.
I guess what we're uncovering here is like Hydra, cool creature, fun concept, actually a sad, cursed creature, and we really need to put it out of its misery.
Oh my God, they're constantly fighting with each other. Like, they're like, "Come on, man."
Yeah.
So this leads me to one thing. If you are able to use one command word on a Hydra, I would say the best command word is argue.
Or
Done.
like, just like fight, or yeah.
Yeah, it's just like,
Argue, you know.
no, I gotta kill him first. No, I'm gonna kill him first. No, me.
So that could really backfire because if
Yeah.
you say command argue and now you have 100 against you, because what if they
Oh.
all agree?
Oh,
You're
God.
wrong.
Arguing with a mob. Now it went from Discord
Yeah.
to Twitter.
You didn't say argue with
turn
who?
to Twitter.
Oh man. Disagree? I don't know.
Specificity is not in my mind.
Oh, man. So, to anyone who is interested in like Greek lore, like I am, I got a little bit about the Hydra here. According to Greek mythology, the Hydra was the offspring of Typhon and Echidna, described as a gigantic water snake-like monster with 9 heads. The number varies. One of which was
Typhon is
apparently
the
immortal.
Storm Titan. How does that work?
Yeah. Echidna was like a snake woman, I guess.
Okay.
Something like
I can see that.
So, yeah, and apparently, one of the heads would be like the central head is the immortal one.
oh,
So,
okay.
like, one of them would kind of control the rest as like the boss, I guess.
That's a good call.
So, the monster's haunt was the marshes of Lerna near Argos, from where he would periodically emerge to harass and attack the people and the livestock of Lerna. Anyone who attempted to behead the Hydra found that as soon as one head was cut, 2 more would emerge from the fresh wound. The destruction of the Lernaean Hydra became one of the 12 labors of Hercules. And as Hercules severed each head, his nephew Iolaus was set to the task of cauterizing the flesh wounds so that no new heads would emerge. When only the immortal head remained, Hercules cut it off and buried it under a heavy rock.
Well, that's a big
When in
departure from
doubt,
the movie. Disney
Put it
lied
under
to
a
me.
rock.
Yeah, I think he also used its own poison, or its poisonous blood or something to poison.
If I remember right, Heracles dipped it in its own acid blood and
Yeah,
then used it to burn the stumps, kind of, so they don't grow back.
right. Yeah.
Cauterized it with acid.
Mhm.
Poison cauterization, yeah.
Yeah,
That
that's
has got to
crazy.
be the craziest thing I think I've heard of in a while. Like, it makes sense that you could, in theory, cauterize something with acid, but like,
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
I don't know, like, does that even work in practice? Like, if I get like a big old like someone chops off my arm, are they just gonna like splash me with hydrochloric acid and be like, okay, you're good to go, buddy, it's cauterized?
Hey, we got the accounts of Heracles right here, so
I
really,
don't
why are we questioning it?
Yeah. I mean, obviously it happened, right? So it must
It's happened, right? It's totally true.
Yeah, if
believe it.
Heracles did it, it must be true.
Yeah, right.
I definitely had some friends that would play D&D this way. They were just like just hyper and
Yeah.
analyzing like arguments like, if I do this, then this will happen. And it's like what's the blast radius of like 5 kilos of TNT and stuff? Like they would get so into it. That's why we played 3.5. It was
Dude,
So when you
I
forgot,
too
you
am a
know,
3.5 child. It was a glorious time for number crunching.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
it
Everyone
is a
loves
glorious time. It's not dead yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. My next campaign, like Fool's Gold was 3.5, and the next one's also going to be 3.5.
Nice.
Nice. I tried to homebrew for 3.5, but it's just like numbers. I can be a math guy at sometimes, but that's a whole lot of there's a lot to understand about 3.5 to balance your homebrew properly, and I'm just like I'll just homebrew for 5th edition. Don't worry about it, guys.
I embraced it. Like, I mean, I know if you go to what is like the D&D wiki for like homebrew 3.5 stuff, it's such a crapshoot because a lot of it is just absolutely nuts. But
Yeah.
a lot of the monsters I put into our campaign setting were first made in 3.5 and then converted. So I made all the numbers. I walked the journey.
Yeah, honestly, homebrewing something in that and then just like porting it over to 5th edition. 5th edition porting is the easiest. Going from 5e to 3.5, all of a sudden you have to make up a whole lot of new math.
Yeah. I enjoy the numbers, so for me it was a lot of fun. But really, going from 3.5 to 5e is a whole lot of like, okay, 3/4 of this gone. We're only gonna need this little bit now. But it lends itself to a lot more role play, so I get it. Not everybody likes numbers, otherwise they just want to talk through combat more, and that's fine. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and
Nothing
for
wrong
me
with that.
it works well because I've been getting my players ready this week for our upcoming campaign that we'll be streaming tomorrow. And it's just like, I've had to prep players for 3.5 before, and like the difference between understanding everything about their character sheet for them in 5th edition versus 3.5 is like, it's really just less of a headache now than it used to be.
I will say 5e character creation hands down wins. Like I like the numbers, but 5e character 20 minutes. You've got a character done, no problem. And you can give someone a pre-made character and they'll get what they have to work with. 3.5 at least an hour. Like it just takes longer, and I don't like that. But you can't really shortcut it.
Yeah. And honestly, I enjoy the character creation process of 3.5 because there's just so many options and it's fun to play with. As it stands, though, I had to kind of multitask, like pop an earbud in, coach someone through character creation while I'm working. Okay, that's much easier this way. You could not coach someone from while working. It's like, no, you just can't.
Yeah. I mean, God, for one shots, praise be 5e. It's so much easier.
Oh God, yeah.
It's like 2 hours of character prep, 1 hour of gameplay.
Truly.
No, thank you.
I'm excited for tomorrow, though. I'm still terrified because, like, even though I have my DMing experience, it's just like every time a new game starts, I'm like, I am woefully unprepared. And I think every DM goes through this.
Yeah.
I call it the DM sweats. Like, I still get them. Like, it's always some nervousness that comes with it. Am I prepared enough? Are they going to like what I've prepared? That certainly happens.
I definitely felt like that every time.
Yeah. But I don't know if that ever goes away. I mean, I guess some people have done it even more. They don't care, but I don't know. Just part of the journey.
I would imagine so. It's just one of those things where, well, here goes nothing, I guess. I'm just gonna jump right in and hope for the best, and here we go.
Yeah, I mean, I've limited. Well, that's the wrong way to say it. I carefully choose who I play with typically because I like to go all out in like the story and the kind of like action I throw at people, and I know not everybody likes it, so like I can adjust myself, yes, but if I play like longer running campaigns, I play that with people who will enjoy that kind of gameplay.
Definitely.
And that it gives you a bit of calm because it's like they like this campaign. So I know if I have an idea, there's a 9 out of 10 chance they're going to enjoy this experience.
Right.
Rather than like I know some GMs do like almost all their games with like strangers all the time. It's like, oh my god, I couldn't do that because I never know where I'm at with these people.
You don't know their vibe or their humor. Like,
Yeah, they have the humor. Like imagine you lay down a joke that your friends would absolutely howl at, and then the table's just like quiet and like, oh,
Yeah.
silent.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
just
like,
kill
oh,
myself
no.
now. Thank you.
I'm completely
God.
gone and just blacklisted myself from this group. Like I saw a thing on Twitter yesterday where I guess this company or whatever, they were taking player auditions for a new podcast, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, player auditions? What about player chemistry? Like, how is this going to play out? You're going to have a bunch of people audition, say with their acting skills, trying to get in to be a role on this thing, and D&D it doesn't work that way. The reason that Critical Role worked was they already had the chemistry because they were friends beforehand.
Yeah.
Talented
They've been
friends,
for like 10
but
years,
they were
right?
friends first.
Yeah, like
That's ballsy. I mean, good luck to that podcast. I hope they succeed.
Honestly,
but
I
do not
have
the
low
guts to do that.
expectations, but I wish them the best.
I wish them the best too. Yeah, that's oof of a call.
Yeah, it seems hard because, like, absolutely, like you said, you got, as a DM, you kind of have to vet your players a little bit more for the sake of having a party composition that is not what they're playing, but how they resonate with each other. It's like, okay, I want this person because this person vibes with that guy real well and vibes with this person. That other person can tolerate them, and that person vibes with these two. You gotta get that chemistry just right. The good match.
It'll never be perfect, but people who get along, people who like the same stuff.
It doesn't have to be perfect. Like it can be fun. Actually, it's fun when people disagree sometimes. Like when there's yelling at the table, it can be in a fun way because they're like very opposing viewpoints, but they keep it in game, and then it's fine as long as it doesn't leave the table. It's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that you got to make sure the chemistry also from like player to GM works as well, because like I only play these like more serious campaigns with friends. I know what I can get away with. There's definitely stuff I wouldn't ever try with strangers because I feel like if I miss, this is a problem. Like if you don't like this is a serious problem.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it really is like that. Like I have a friend that's going to come on the show in a few weeks. You remember him, Sam, Josh. He's had campaigns where it's like, okay, one of my players ended up having to carry this demon lord's child, and then like X, Y, and Z, and all these weird, like, oh, and this one had a demigod for a kid. It's like, it's kind of weird that your shit goes on for generations within your campaign, but that's cool. But he'll tell me about some of this stuff, and his players are absolutely into it. But I'm just like, damn. If you were to pull something like that at the wrong table, you'd end up on RPG horror stories in a heartbeat.
True.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It is funny to read through those stories sometimes. Like I've certainly perused through RPG horror stories and just like shaking my head at so many of them. But if you have the right group of people, and by that I mean probably your best friends, and you play D&D with it, you can do some pretty, like you can do anything with that group. Like there's people that say, oh no, like certain topics, should never occur in any D&D game. And I completely disagree with that, because as long as you have the right group of people to play with that kind of stuff, it is okay. If you do that with strangers, you're a horrible person, and it's not something you should do.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, not every group can vibe with the Great Goblin Genocide.
Yeah. The Great Goblin Genocide.
One can hope.
Wait, for the genocide?
Look, man, I've been watching a lot of Goblin Slayer. Okay.
I was gonna say, what did they do to you? I want to hear the backstory of the goblins.
I don't know. I've seen some DMs that get real crazy about certain races in D&D. Like I was in a game with a guy, and he absolutely banned gnomes from anything. Like, if you go to play a gnome in his game, rocks fall, gnomes die. Roll up a new character, buddy.
That's amazing.
It's one of those things where you just had to make a gnome in one of his games at least once.
Of course, yeah.
You know exactly what's going to happen, so you can't even be mad when it does.
No, if I knew that about my GM, I would absolutely. The first thing I do is I make a gnome.
Yeah.
Or more, I would do something like, I don't know, an elf, which is actually 3 gnomes in trench coat kind of stuff. Like,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Classic.
Yeah.
So I have a few more things about the Hydra here. Oh, man.
I like how we're like, okay, that's enough about goblin genocide. Let's talk about the Hydra again, shall we?
How about them Hydras?
Did you know, speaking of how about them Hydras, did you know there's a bunch of different like sub races of Hydra?
I didn't know.
Other than
unaware.
the Goostra?
Other than the Goostra, man, yeah. So there is the Draco Hydra, a hybrid creature with either the next evolution of dragons created by Tiamat, created by arcane experiments to recreate Tiamat's power. They were also bred by the Cult of the Dragon. So these were, you just take a dragon, take a Hydra, push them together. They got the wings, they got the heads, they have a breath weapon. It's crazy.
It's one of
The
those,
full
nobody asked whether they
re-engineering.
should
reverse
only if
engineering.
they could.
Yeah. This is like we revive a T-Rex, but give it like metal plates.
The Cyber-X.
Yeah, Cyber Godzilla. We've seen the movie.
Yeah.
Don't spoil it. I still want to go see it.
Dude, I remember at the start of COVID, my buddy got a card before they banned it. Mecha Godzilla Death Corona. Yeah. Like, I saw this card as COVID was starting. I'm like, dude, can I have a selfie with that card?
Hey, yo. Or gets Mandela affected. Yeah.
Are there any other weird, unique Hydras?
So next up, we have the Duerga Hydra, was a small subterranean relative of the standard Hydra that apparently went extinct around 50 DR. So it's interesting. I couldn't even find like a picture of like what this looked like, but apparently they were like humans-ish sized, I think. So they were small.
Okay.
Interesting.
They wear a trench coat?
Like almost pet sized?
Yeah, almost pet sized, man.
I'm just thinking, I imagine like a little Hydra, like my dog, walking up. Like, how's that food situation gonna be? Like, you get in a trough?
I almost
giving me
imagine
ideas. Now I have to give my players a pet Hydra.
Dude, I kind of imagine like we talked about the deep dragons, and the purple dragons. Deep Hydra,
Ooh.
They look like that. Did you have kind of like the like mushroomy kind of colorish into the spore, It's kind of cool.
Spordra.
That could look really, really cool.
Spordra.
Yeah. Have them be like a mushroom-based Hydra with like a spore breath weapon. And then, like, even if they succeed on the saving throw, mushrooms start growing from their pores.
That sounds.
I mean, I can definitely see
horrifying.
something like, what was it? Like Myconid's taking over like a dead Hydra or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's awful.
That could be really cool. Oh, and then because they sing, right? So you have like a singing mushroom Hydra with like a haunting melody.
That's so scary.
I know you're saying haunting melody, but all that comes to my mind is,
God.
hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
It's a band. It's a whole band all in one.
Imagine you're just like spelunking. You're like, what's the sound?
That's great. That's great.
God. So next up, we have a Golgothydra. Thydra. An aberrant hybrid between a Hydra and a otoik, which is some weird aberration. It's like I might have to do an episode on these. They're kind of cool looking. They're like 4-legged, got like crocodile kind of mouths, and have like displacer beast tails. They're really weird.
Cool.
They're super strange. So next up we have the Lernaean Hydra, the classic idea of the Hydra. This was the kind of like the main idea of the one that could regenerate the heads. Though I think they all do it, so nothing real special about that one. So next up in third edition, we have the Cryo Hydra and the Pyro Hydra.
Ooh.
These variants were apparently able to have a breath weapon, relevant to their elemental type, which was a little unique, for Hydras, because they don't really.
I want to put them together as like a half cryo, half pyro Hydra. Just
like
split it right down
away.
the
Like
3 heads are fired. They're
you kind of arriving back at Tiamat, but it's like just throw all the elements in there, right?
Yeah,
definitely.
Just split it up, like.
And then,
Actually, just like with Tiamat, you could be like, oh, one side is all necrotic, and then the other side, like, maybe give it like some radiant,
you got like a rainbow of ends.
It's a fabulous deadly creature.
Now we have the Sea Hydra, with a mainly aquatic offshoot of the main Hydra species. And last up, we have the Thessal Hydra, a chimeric monstrosity that had no head. Instead, it had 8 Hydra-like heads, each about 6 feet in length, surrounded by a gaping mouth filled with teeth and acidic saliva.
Oh, okay, so like the main head is actually the body?
Yeah, so like you have like the legs, right? You have the body, but there's no, like, where the head would be, like, it's just a mouth, and then around the mouth are the Hydra heads.
Interesting.
That is like
Kind
a
of fucked
flower of death.
Yeah, it's like a sunflower of Hydra heads. It's really weird. Like,
Interesting.
yeah, it's crazy. So going into their abilities here, Hydras attack with their multiple heads, biting in a flurry of attacks that few can defend against. As they take damage and the heads are lost until the beast is finally slain. Outside of the few elemental subraces, it is few and far between. The Hydras show any type of magic proficiency or breath weapon. Like I said before. And then we have the stat block here. Hydras are a huge monstrosity, normally unaligned, or usually towards, the more chaotic, obviously, and then the neutral aspects. So we have a strength of 20, dexterity of 12, constitution of 20, intelligence of 2, wisdom of 10, and charisma of 7.
These are some strong boys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They got the kind of barest intelligence.
Damn, that's pretty bad for intelligence, considering how they have to share it between all the heads.
Yeah. And, its features are pretty much what you'd expect. Multiple heads, is immune to, or not immune, advantages against being blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, stunned, and knocked unconscious. It takes 25 damage in a single turn to kill a head. But the heads will regrow unless they take fire damage. Each head, they get an extra reaction for opportunity attacks. And while the Hydra sleeps, at least one of its heads are awake at all times.
Cool.
You know what, Sam? I think that leads us to our next question, the IRL fight score. Okay,
so
Felix,
we like
picture this. You step outside your house one day, and just a little ways down the road, there is a Hydra coming your way. Can you beat it in a fight on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being nope, 1 being it's a stomp, I got this.
What the fuck? Is my first reaction. Seeing that. Oh yeah, I could totally take a how tall, like 16 foot tall, like,
basically 20 feet-ish,
8-headed creature. Easy.
Each head is like 15 feet long.
because thank God it's allergic to humans.
I know
Like,
it's weakness. Okay.
I don't even know how I would start.
Yeah.
You see that thing? It's like there's no obvious weakness. What am I gonna kick it in the shin and hope it hurts
Yeah,
real
right?
bad?
Like-
Calf
It
kicks
has,
are very
like,
effective.
Yeah, but it's like kicking a tree trunk that can kick back.
It has 4 other calves. Or 3 other calves, I guess.
I must say that's a 0.
Man.
You know what? No, that's a 1.
Yeah.
Because I might get stuck in one of its. Wait, no. Okay, no, that's a 0.1 because I might get stuck in the one important throat.
If you choose the right one to let eat you.
Yeah.
He's just
I'm
gonna
not
choke
aiming
one from the
myself, like, no, I
inside.
gotta get that one.
Oh man.
There is a
If
chance.
we're talking about the small baby one, I'll give it like a 3.
Talk about the normal one. That's that's a tough
No.
call. Mm.
Dude,
I'd
that would be
say-
the hope. I would die trying.
I'd say I'd
Can you imagine the leash setup?
I'd imagine you wouldn't do a leash, you just get a harness.
You just
Yeah,
put
that's
it around the waist.
These are the important questions.
Oh,
We domesticate a dog-sized hydra.
this is what we really need. Monsters in
That's all we
pet
need.
form.
Yeah.
I would say I'd give it a 9 just because it's really hard to fight. That's really high up there. My strategy, if I were to fight one, is
You enlighten us.
let's see. I'd have to run and hide until I could successfully cobble together a bomb of some sort. Not just one bomb. I'd have to bust out ye old copy of the Anarchist Cookbook and the YouTube's finest to be able to come together and just
Wait, all right.
explosives.
You.
Explosives.
All right. Hello?
Oh, hold on. Why does this happen to me?
Oh my god.
Oh.
What happened? Oh, that's so good.
Disconnections. Shit. Everything's disconnected and not wanting to do.
Yeah. The
the
secret
fuck?
government plan to revive hydras.
The government's trying to shut me up.
How can okay? So Orion, you can hear me.
I can hear you right now. Yes.
Can you hear Felix?
It says that he disconnected.
Oh, so Felix disconnected.
I don't understand.
Interesting. Orion, reconnect from the Lipson.
Yeah. I'll try reconnecting through the Libsyn. Join now. And join the call.
He's back.
Okay. That was. I knew something like this would happen eventually because, holy shit, my internet has been just troublesome lately.
Happens to the best of us.
I'll switch my audio over so I listen to you over Discord.
So anyway, like I was saying before, the CIA so boldly interrupted me because I mentioned the Anarchist Cookbook in my methods of taking on a Hydra.
You're cooking too much.
I was cooking too much.
Don't let him cook.
Don't let him cook.
They don't want me bombing Hydras. It's okay for the government to take on Hydras with ballistic missiles, but heaven forbid I, a domestic citizen, concoct my own ways with gasoline and thermite.
Where's the laws for home protection against mythical creatures? All right.
Listen,
All right.
I'm not saying I could douse this Hydra in a little bit of low-grade napalm, but I'm not saying I couldn't.
The little one, maybe, but then you
Imagine
fight a pyrohydra and it's all over.
Oh yeah, pyrohydras, I'm out.
Oh, how do you deal with pyrohydras? Do you freeze their heads?
I got
You call
like
the fire
2 fire
department.
extinguishers and I'd still lose.
Oh man.
That's why they're called firefighters.
Oh, they just go up and fist
brilliant.
fight the fires. That's what I thought when I saw Fire Force. And somebody was like, yeah, they go and they fight the fires with their fire powers. And I was like,
Yeah, I was like, hang on, what?
It's about time. They should have been fighting. Like, I've always wanted to punch a fire.
it's like
You
when you
should.
see somebody at the beach and they're like punching the water.
It's like that's like on the bucket list of life. Everybody punched water at least once. Shown water who's boss.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Domesticate the ocean, man.
Domesticate the ocean. So
Show who's boss.
So here's an important question. Because if I'm not mistaken, hydras in D&D are magical creatures, meaning they're not born, they're made.
Right.
So does it say where the default D&D hydra comes from?
So it is believed that they are a natural evolution of proto dragons. Like,
Interesting.
So that proto dragon tree we talked about in that one episode, they kind of have the top, they come down, it's hydras over here, and then it's like, what was it? The main offshoots of the chromatic and metallic dragons. And hydras are kind of off on their own.
So that means, okay, they were magically created at some point, but now they have their own means of reproduction.
Right.
That's a problem.
Right. Yeah.
Mm.
I think like the first one was probably created by like Tiamat or something.
Yeah. It's like, I'm going to cook up some
that
shit.
makes sense.
Yeah, because Tiamat was a dragon god who became like a hydra, right? Something like that.
Well, I mean, no, Tiamat was like among some of the first dragons because there's like Tiamat, Bahamut, and then
so I guess it was probably something like Tiamat would have been one of the first hydras to have been born or created.
Yeah,
and then
like there's only like one dragon before those two, I believe.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, then I guess Tiamat would have created all the offshoots of hydras that would have bred to make like whatever these sub races are.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Tiamat just busy creating this whole new creature. Look,
I mean,
look at these hydras, guys.
right?
Aren't they looking amazing? Everybody's like, what are those? Like, what the hell?
Wasn't that why like Tiamat kind of got like banished to the hells? They were like, stop making hydras. Like,
Tiamat's just
You
got
made
that big
the worst
devil
creature.
mommy
Get out.
energy.
Oh no.
oh man, bad Tiamat. Stop making babies.
Go to hell. No, literally, get out. Over there. Time out.
Dude, the idea of like exile has always been so funny to me. Just get out of here, man. Just get out.
Get out of here.
We have a better way to handle society. Get the fuck out.
Don't come back. Just
Don't
laugh
come
at
back.
you.
We should bring that back to our legal system. Like,
I don't want to anymore.
you know what? You're too much of a burden and a trouble for our society. So why don't you go be someone else's problem?
Where would they send them, right?
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, I guess. If you actually got like, oh, what's the verdict? Like a life in prison or something. It's like banished. Get out.
Yeah.
Where am I going to? I don't care. Not here. Get out.
Here's a boat. Just send it.
We got a dinghy. There's 1 week of supplies. Get out.
Yep. Good luck.
Just, you know what? It'd be the most unethical thing to do, probably, but it'd also be the most hilarious.
I mean, look, if they gave them the supplies and gave them like a map, even it's on their own. It's up to them at that point, right?
I mean, I don't know.
It's
It's just
literally
like
in your hands.
it's like, oh, you're a murderer. You murdered like what, 16 people? You know what? Death by U.S. government. Now that takes a lot of money. We're gonna send you to like a part of the world that's really turbulent, where people are like killing each other all the time, so you can be amongst your people. But go.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, fuck.
Wait a minute. That could go so wrong.
That's bad.
I never said which part of the world.
Serial killers.
Send them all to Serial Killer Island.
Oh, that's Epstein Island.
No, that's where you
Hang
send the
on,
pedos.
I was gonna say you're getting back to like this game show concept. I
man.
forget what movie or show it was, but someone told me about it. Something like that, where all the
Alright.
murderers had to fight each other.
Here's a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Your wife is pregnant. She's going into labor. You're rushing to get in the cab. You turn around, tell your guy to rush to the hospital. He goes, "Welcome to the cash cab." Do you play?
You know what? 4 children in, yes, I'll do it.
I was gonna I'd say probably okay, look, you still gotta hit the gas. We're doing this at 80 miles an hour, but yes, absolutely, we're gonna play.
We're going to the speed round.
Speed round, go, 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 go.
Oh yeah, absolutely, I'd play it. Like, dude, my wife's got an IQ over 120. I'm doing this. This is a team effort. You know, even under the duress of childbirth, she could probably get a couple questions right.
That episode would do numbers.
It would.
Oh my god.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Anyway, moving on.
Damn,
D&D
we had
now.
our
They're,
baby
trying to
and
escape
walked
from
out with a
dire
couple $1,000.
situations. Welcome to Cash Card, motherfuckers. Answer these questions 3.
You know what? D&D has prepared me for that stuff, but I've also learned from D&D that no set of D&D players that have been playing for a long time should ever be allowed in an escape room.
That's a really good point.
Okay, but why?
It's like, okay, you have to get out of this room, solve the puzzle, and get in 1 hour. Comes back 10 minutes later. Why the fuck is there a hole in the wall?
Yeah. See, I was gonna go with the alternate explanation, which is probably what my party would do. Is we go into an escape room and they spend the entire hour obsessing over the light switch.
Oh my god, yeah.
And nothing else gets done.
I don't know, guys. There's something about this light switch.
I just made I made the mistake of saying there was a light switch, and now it's the whole session.
I feel that so much.
Don't feel bad. I made the mistake of putting a normal bathroom in one of my D&D campaigns.
What were you thinking?
They took the toilet paper. They took the toilet brush. They took the plunger. One of them took a nap in the bathtub. One of them stole the hand towels.
You're like, they have what? A working toilet? Oh, the druid
dungeon
party.
with plumbing?
Some lich talking about amazing powers, and they're like, yeah, but ours flushes. Like,
oh my god.
Yo, the real magic is indoor plumbing.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Science.
Oh, that's great. I'm going to go into a little bit of our news for the night. We already covered, we kind of put it at the forefront with the WotC firing people, but, you know, our other little tidbit. This is TNM bringing you Nerd News. Nerd News.
Do we need to do like the announcer turn, like the with Felix, or something like I like to do in the news? Like, hello, take my papers.
Felix is the news anchor we didn't know we wanted.
Somebody bringing us coffee. We wave them away.
Pretend I'm like reading up.
Yeah.
Ah, shit. I do a podcast with Felix every week. That'd be awesome.
I can see it.
So right here we got Dimension 20's first trailer for Fantasy High junior year, and so apparently they're doing a new campaign, all fantasy and high school themed, and they're gonna be all these classes and whatnot. They seem real excited for it, and if y'all like fantasy high school drama and role play, check that out. That's the new up and coming thing.
You know what this makes me think of? I don't know how familiar you are with like League of Legends, but they have a skin line called Academy, where it's just like the characters in like a school setting, and it's pretty cool.
I think this does what Strixhaven aimed to do, but better, because it's like keeping it as like a more grounded version of what that aimed to be.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because like,
Cool.
Sounds interesting.
yeah, just it seems like they're going with like a kind of a modern fantasy kind of high school, and it's like, okay, I kind of like this. You get all the clicks and all that crazy stuff, kind of like our guest that we had on a few weeks ago that was doing the Divine Calling RPG.
Mm. Right.
I like the idea of that. I might
That's pretty
bogart some stuff from that campaign.
I can see it.
I'm curious with how it turns out.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about and I'm a big fan of Monster Hunter, and I've been for a long time. And Monster Hunter 6 was revealed, a little bit before the Game Awards.
Oh, I know.
Monster Hunter Wilds, and it looks really, really cool. So I was doing a little bit of research for my homebrew for this week, and I found
tell me about it, because I know nothing about Monster Hunter. I think that it's fundamentally cool, but like
Dude, who doesn't love hunting giant monsters? Like
I'm out of the loop here.
Yeah. So I found this Monster Hunter monster manual for you to put into your D&D games. And it has the details from the parts you can craft to the CR of the monsters, to their attacks that are from the games. And it's so cool. And I saw that this was made in 2018. I was just like, I'm surprised I haven't heard of this.
I've seen like a couple things going around for it, because like we've established it, Monster Hunter's pretty popular, and I think I utilized a small PDF. It might be from the same one that you're talking about in my previous game, just a little bit, because Sydney was really into like butchering monsters that they beat up and then using their parts. Like when he is like, okay, I got this gator, I've skinned it, and now I'm making an armored vest.
Yeah.
I mean,
so shout out to Amel Wind on GM's binder for this. It looks really cool.
And please tell me you've heard of Heliana's Guide to Monster Hunting, because that is straight up Monster Hunter the book.
Dude, I love it. They have like all of like the Monster Hunter monsters. And I was looking at this list and I was like, oh man, so cool. Yeah. I would love to use this.
It sounds exciting.
My party always did that as well. When it was like those monsters, like, oh, can I take this part and can I do this? Like, we always
Monster Hunter campaign would just be so cool.
They should do it officially.
Dude, they should.
They'd make so much money off of that, because like people love that stuff to begin with, and a lot of Monster Hunter players play D&D. There's a ton of.
They're like a perfect genre for it, right? Like,
they are, yeah. Yeah, I would be surprised if they're not already looking into that, to be honest. Like they should.
Yeah, I mean, WotC's dropped the ball. It's only about time that companies that run stuff like Monster Hunter can take over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about all I have. And I don't see anything about any kind of Monster Hunter campaigns. Maybe one on Reddit.
I'm sure people run those kind of things at home. I don't know if anyone's streamed anything like that. If they did, that'd probably catch on like wildfire.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something we should undertake.
You can run that one.
I could. That would
big monsters.
That'd be a good time.
I would want to play it though.
That's the same problem we had with the Soul Eater campaign idea. It's like everyone wants to play Soul Eater, no one wants to run it.
You don't have a forever GM to pester?
Normally me and Orion are the GMs. Like I just ran our last Grim Hollows game. He's gonna run our One Piece game.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the thing is, with the One Piece game, I have no end in sight in my mind, because I want the whole thing to be driven by the players. So it's just like,
dude, you know what?
Who knows when it will end?
Monster Hunter one shot. It could be pretty dope.
Yeah. Okay. A one shot for Monster Hunter would be
one
good.
shot to test the waters, and maybe run it longer if everybody wants to.
Yeah. Well, we are running the One Piece campaign as a bi-weekly stream, so during the off weeks, that could be very feasible.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a module for like the weapons and stuff. Perhaps.
I would imagine.
Classes for Monster Hunter, I could see it. Wouldn't be too different from normal D&D stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty par for the course.
Yeah. All right. So next up, Orion. What is our descriptify for this week?
Okay, for this week's Descriptify, I bring in kind of a word that's used a lot, but no one really thinks too much about: meandering, which, as you might know, it's just a synonym for rambling. Just kind of
Right.
going on, and it can be used to describe other things, not just speech, like a meandering river, or like just like a bunch of meandering trees. Like, it's just like they kind of just go in like all these weird directions, and it just seems aimless.
Okay, I could get that. I like it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Seems
What
like
kind of context would you like to use this in?
I think that it would be good for describing environments, or just like maybe a more noble-ish character describing. Oh yeah, so we have a meandering soothsayer that you could talk to him, but it's very difficult to pull any useful information. We actually have a translator. His entire job is just to understand the soothsayer's rambles.
I like that. It'd be like that sometimes. Huh?
Yeah.
The best of us.
Yeah.
And
Rambling translator.
It's that kind of bullshit that gets me to being a DM. I can make things up.
Yeah. When in doubt, make it up.
Honestly, that's half my plan for the upcoming campaign. Like, I do like to structure things for characters' individual motivations and backstories, but like once things like are actually the players at the track, but it's all on you guys. I'm not going to
I can't
overplan.
wait.
And
I look forward to it. I know it's gonna be a lot of fun.
for sure.
It's been a little bit since you've been our DM. I'm looking forward to the chaos.
I'm hoping I've learned a bit since last time, so
No,
we'll see where it
chaos.
goes. I do love chaos. Felix, do you have any chaos advice for someone jumping back into the chaos?
Yeah, I mean, if you just indulge your players' requests, typically that already results in chaos.
All right.
It's like, you would like to do what with the chandelier? Okay, absolutely. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, that's kind of why I took the time to kind of, like we were talking about earlier, when it comes to vetting players, I selected one player that I hadn't initially thought about bringing into the campaign, because he's just so wild and creative with stuff that he's a perfect fit, and he's got the kind of personality that vibes with the other people, even though they haven't really met. So it's like, I just know that energy is going to vibe well, and it'll lead to other people asking the same kind of questions. Like, is there this in the room? There is now.
Yeah. And you're always really good at describing things. Like, if there's one thing I could say about you, you paint the scene really, really well. I look forward to that.
I try to. It's really just hoping for the best and be like, yeah, it's this, and then there's like a subtle thing.
I know there's going to be a lot for you to describe, and now that we have the Foundry VTT, there's going to be a lot more visual aspect to it. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I'm worried that I'll underutilize that, but I do think it'll be fun for like mapping out stuff like the ship and whatnot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And moving on, though, we do have our homebrew shoe case.
Generic realm, lots of fun, excellent.
To the generic realm, Sam. Do you want this first one, or should I take it from here?
You can go ahead this time.
Okay, for this week's generic realm, I present to you guys this homebrew spell from, let's see here, Undying Monstrosity on Reddit. The Ghostlight Bow. Now, this is a updated version of a previous cantrip that they had worked on. I do think there's just not enough cantrips in the game that give people weapons.
Ooh.
So
I agree.
casting,
I think
yeah.
cantrips are a little lacking.
Yeah.
I could use some love.
Definitely. I mean, people always like to make the big flashy spells, but cantrips, cantrips
Yeah.
are where it's at because they get cast the most.
The bread and the butter. You know?
Exactly. And this one kind of brings some of that Skyrim vibe with the
Ooh.
Ghostlight Bow. As a bonus action, you can, for 1 minute, you gesture. With a gesture, you summon an ethereal, translucent, ranged weapon that you are proficient with. It appears in your hand. This weapon functions not just as a magical weapon, but of the same type, but rather when making attacks with this weapon, the ammunition appears ready for use, which vanishes after the attack is resolved.
Mhm.
You can use your
Nice.
spellcasting ability modifier for attack and damage rolls with this weapon. You can choose to
Nice.
deal cold or necrotic damage instead of the weapon's regular damage type.
Ooh.
That's
the
nice.
For the duration, this is considered magical for the purposes of overcoming resistance or immunity to damage.
Mhm.
If attacking a target behind cover, you can reduce the bonus they gain to their armor class by 1 to a minimum of 0.
Oh, nice.
The weapon sheds dim silvery light for 5 feet around the wielder. If you let go of the weapon, it disappears and the spell ends.
I like this.
The spell
That's a
further
good spell.
reduces the AC of a target in cover by 1 when you reach 5th level. By 1. 5th level, 2. At 11th level, 3. And at 17th level, 4. The target's bonus AC cannot be reduced below 0. Target's
Nice.
AC bonus cannot be reduced below 0. So, no
Right.
negative AC.
I like this. Yeah, it's pretty
I
simple.
like it. Little powerful for a cantrip though, with the AC penalties there, but it's a nice spell. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I like
Nice.
the concept. And, really, how often do you come across something that's like, okay, if something's hiding behind cover, then reduce the benefit of hiding behind cover by 1. And then when you level up, eventually that kind of stacks higher and higher.
Yeah. And I mean, I've always been a big fan of summonable weapons, or like bonded weapons like that. I think that's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, special weapons in general, like
Yeah.
summoned weapons or like weapons that grow with you, legendary
Mhm.
weapons.
Right.
They're not used often enough.
This is something that'll be useful like always. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And with this, it's a ranged weapon that you're proficient in. So
It could be
maybe
a crossbow.
so maybe you throw this
Yeah,
on someone who uses javelins. Maybe you throw this on someone who's using a sling or a short bow or firearms. Like ethereal ghost firearms. Now that's something.
That's cool. An ethereal like ghost rifle, bro.
I was gonna say, don't tell the artificers. Be like, yeah, I am proficient with bazooka.
I'm proficient in ghost guns.
Yeah.
Damn it, Cody
Nice.
Wilson.
I feel like the first thing I would do if this was cast in one of my games is I would immediately give that an actual ghost sentience. So you summon
Ooh,
that
like
weapon, and it's
that.
immediately like, oh, need my help again, do we? That kind of stuff.
It's a sentient spell. I love
I
it.
love it.
I would immediately
Oh.
get a little bit of sentience.
Yeah,
That'd
it'd be kind
so
of like
much fun.
find familiar because you're pulling a spirit. Like
Exactly.
I like that.
I
gives it
love
the
that.
reason
You
for it to be a
single-handedly made
necromantic
the spell better just because the concept of sentient spells. I like that. That's really
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, a little bit of Soul Eater in there.
Pull a
It'd be fun.
spirit and form it into a shape of a weapon. I like that.
Wasn't there? Oh, no, it's a creature. Isn't that the sentient spell? I haven't used it yet, but something like that exists. I think it's a
Sentience.
different thing.
Yeah, sentience gives a creature sentience. So it's like, okay,
wow.
you got a dog, now it's Scooby-Doo.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, my brother was playing like a ranger that was basically Shaggy.
Nice.
Yeah, he had a weird backstory. He's like, oh, someone burned down my food cart, and I want revenge for them destroying my food cart. Plot twist, you gave someone bad fish, they got food poisoning and wanted revenge and destroyed your food cart.
Oh, I just found it. That's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of living spells. what I was
Oh,
thinking of.
right. All right.
Yet to use those.
So my choice for today is a homebrew race of my favorite animal. I thought, like, why not? These are cute guys. They're cool. So these are the Protexus, which are basically a pangolin race. That's pretty sick. Orion sent this to me, and I was loving it.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, Sam's gonna love this. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah, these little guys always look like they're like cooking up a scheme or they're being polite.
I immediately love them.
They're so good. Oh, I get it. You're called Protexus because our shields protect us. That's so funny. Say that one more time, and I'll make you eat dirt.
It's a pun.
A prime example of how size has no bearing on the presence one may exude. The Protexus are a stout race of beings with more unusual appearance as opposed to the more common humanoids that roam the material plane, with an appearance similar to a pangolin or armadillo. Although if you were to say that to the face of a Protexus, you would be getting off lightly if all that you got was a stern talking to. I love it.
I like to imagine they travel by rolling.
Oh my god, yeah. These
Sonic style. Just roll away.
Protexus, roll out.
We have life best lived. Protexus hardly concern themselves with grand ambitions or going down in history as someone remarkable. Instead, what matters is to have lived in such a way that when death takes you to the bitterness of regret, does not sour the eternal rest that is to follow. So it is important to have taken a second serving of that delicious meal your lover cooked for you, or read another good book by the window as the breeze blows by, to feel the good ache that comes from a good night's sleep. I like that.
I like that a lot. I like that especially because it can be interpreted in different ways depending on who you are. Like this can be like, no,
enjoy the
I'm going
thing.
to enjoy myself. I'm going to relax. But this could also be interpreted as something like, no, I'm going to do all the thrill. I'm going to do like all the hard life stuff.
Yeah,
that
you only
makes
get one
well-rounded
life.
characters.
Literally,
Yeah,
this is a good like neutral like.
I like that.
So we have unstoppable advance. Society at large is latched onto one singular trait of Protexus, and that is their unshakable determination to see things through. Once a Protexus finds themselves before an obstacle or has set their sights upon a goal, they will charge ahead regardless of any apparent difficulty or insurmountability. Truly, a determined Protexus cannot be swayed from their objective, and so it is their body that shall break before their will.
Again, really good. But that is problematic if you think about the earlier paragraph where it says like, if all you get a stern talking to is you're lucky, meaning if they want to beat you down, they're not stopping until they're done.
Yeah, you beat them down or they come get you.
Exactly.
They're very down to earth people.
I like it.
That was a guy 10 years ago at a bar. He called me a bitch. I'm still hunting him down.
They hold grudges.
Yeah, exactly.
We gotta look out for the little guy. A core aspect
there's
of the
a saying
culture-
around these parts: a Protexus never forgets.
Hey, Protexus never forgives.
Yeah. Saying around here is Protexus gonna get you.
Oh. So the culture of the Protexus is that if you can do something, you should do it. And if you simply stand by, you are just as bad as the ones doing the harm. So because of this from a young age, juvenile Protexus are taught to foster a personal sense of justice. So whatever it is they may face, surely it can be resolved. Okay.
Protexus Batman. Okay.
We got stalwart body, stalwart mind. Chief among the lessons taught by a Protexus parent to their child is that you must cultivate your strength day after day, not merely the external strength to exert upon the world, but also the inner strength to hold yourself together. This must not be misunderstood as a rejection of assistance or help, for there is no weakness to be bad in accepting the stretched out hand. What must be avoided at all costs is to allow yourself to crumble when such a fate could be avoided. Okay, I vibe.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah. Let me get into their traits here. They have a constitution increased by 2 and a wisdom increased by 1. They reach maturity by their 10th year of age and live to a surprising 100 years, though their way of life does mean a significant portion does not come close to reaching that limit. What does that? Oh, because they go ham. I understand. We have the alignment here. Protexes have no real inclination for order. That's with everything. A average Protexus will stand anywhere from 3 to 4 feet tall and average
Aw.
250 pounds. Your size is small.
Oh,
I love them.
I love them even more
250 at that
this tiny
height.
thing
Holy
was
shit,
trying to
they hit
kick
like a
my
truck.
ass.
Oh my god, they're like a dwarf.
Yeah.
Nice. They have a base walking speed of 30 feet, dark vision, cannot discern colors in darkness. Oh no, they can discern colors only as shades of gray. Never mind. Why would you word it like that? You discern colors in darkness only as shades of
Yeah.
That's called
Okay.
low light vision.
gray. So we have firm grasp. Your claws are adapted for giving you purchase whenever you seek higher ground. You have a climbing speed equal to your walking speed. Yeah, I would also probably give them like a digging speed too.
Oh, burrow speed.
Yeah.
I don't know. Burrow speeds are dangerous.
So next up we have willful character. The innate stubbornness for your kind grants you the quality of it being harder for your state of mind to be altered. You have advantage on saving throws against the charmed and frightened conditions. We have armor up. At command, the scale covering your body may grow to cover a greater surface, increasing your defensive capabilities, but lowering your mobility. As a bonus action, you may enter a defensive state, which lasts until you end it with another bonus action. While in your defensive state, you gain the following effects. Armor class increases by 2, your walking speed is halved, and you have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. Okay.
I like
it.
that.
Interesting.
We have remarkable aptitude. Once a Protexus reaches a certain point in development in their lives, a particular trait about them grows to even greater heights. When you reach 3rd level, choose a racial trait from the following to enhance. Firm grasp. As a bonus action, you may gain a burrowing speed. Oh, hey.
There you go. There you go.
equal to 10 feet.
You gotta grow into it.
Yeah, equal to 10 feet for the rest of your return, though you may only burrow through soft matter like sand, mud, dirt, or ice.
What
We
is
have
ice
willful
soft?
character. Yeah, I mean, I guess like snow.
Yeah, I was gonna say ice. That's wrong.
We have
This is written
willful
by
character.
someone living in like Arizona.
Yeah, they have no idea.
Yeah, I've never been there.
Never
Holy
seen
shit, you
snow.
can burrow through ice?
I live in Canada. I object.
I live in Maine. I object.
Willful character. You have advantage on wisdom saving throws. All right. This one's probably my favorite, this last one here. Armor up. While in your defensive state, creatures who hit you with a melee attack or start their turn grappling you take 1d4 piercing damage. Because I don't know if you know this, pangolin scales are sharp like knives. So when they curl up in their balls when they're attacked, usually things that try to eat them will cut their mouths to ribbons. So they'll give up, you know.
I
So
thought
I
the
like-
Chinese
I
used to
like
use pangolins to make arrowheads.
They still do. Yeah. They're one of the most poached animals in the world, unfortunately.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of cultures believe that the ground up pangolin scales have like magical healing properties because they look a lot like dragon scales, and you know how cultures are with dragon scales.
Well, the Chinese do.
We
like
hunted those to
dragons.
extinction, I guess.
Yeah,
Not around anymore.
exactly.
That's why we don't have dragons.
Yeah.
Precisely. But yeah, shout out to, let me see the name of the person who made this, an overzealous paladin for posting this on Reddit. I like it a lot.
Let's
I will
go.
probably
Overzealous
make
pal.
a character of this. I like it.
It
It's
does
fun.
seem
I
like
like
the kind of character you would play. That's why I
Yeah.
sent it to you.
It fits my vibe perfectly. And I love pangolins, and they're cute. I like it.
They are cute. I love them.
You know, the only reason I know what a pangolin is because of that episode of South Park where like Randy goes to China and he gets with a pangolin.
Yeah, people believed for a while that they gave people COVID. Like,
That's
but
nice.
they give you other diseases, I think. Well, no, that's armadillos can give you like chlamydia or something. Wow.
Who the fuck is finding that out?
Look, man, I don't remember what it is. Is it leprosy? Is that what I'm thinking?
I don't know. It sounds like Arizona's a spicy place, and maybe I
Oh,
shouldn't
God.
go.
Oh,
Ain't got snow. You getting the clap from armadillos.
I was gonna say, like, man, you gotta watch out for them armadillos to give you the clap. It's like, excuse me, how do you know that?
This is true.
Tell me
Armadillos
the
are known
whole
to carry
story of this.
leprosy.
Clapadillos,
Fun fact.
okay? Clapadillos.
Who said you
Bards
don't learn how to
beware.
do this?
Oh my god.
We aim to educate here, okay?
Today you learned our D&D biology section.
Armadillos can give you leprosy.
Add that to the character sheet.
yeah.
You know, there's not
Native
enough
immunity.
diseases in D&D.
Oh my god.
It's interesting that they're all homebrewed, I found. It's like I was expecting there to be like a catalog of D&D diseases. It's like not
Because
really.
they probably
There's
don't
like
people
a few.
being like biological warfaring people. Like, but I
Why
mean,
not?
like, we got like liches with skeleton armies. What's the difference?
That is biological warfare.
Yeah,
much.
like what's the difference? Poison magic is the same deal, so you might as well. You could just homebrew it to be like, I have smallpox magic. Like,
Just to take a bunch of corpses, strap them to your trebuchet, load them up with smallpox, and pray that you hit the paladin faster. Well, you infect people faster than the paladin can cure diseases.
Jesus
Eventually,
Christ.
he'll
Hardy
get
did not
tired.
realize that is what the player meant when he said he's going old school.
Don't worry,
That's
guys.
so good.
I got smallpox blankets. We'll
It's
flush
like,
them out.
huh?
Me when I was playing my plague doctor.
Bring out the leprosy pangolins.
Why are pangolins just falling over the wall, sir? I don't know,
No.
but I'm feeling a little funny.
They're kind of cute.
Kind of cute. No, stop petting them.
They're shredding my
fun.
hands, but I can't stop. They're fucking adorable, sire.
Their hands are like rotting away.
Sir, we got a problem. The ladies in waiting, they cannot stop petting the pangolins. Ah, damn.
They'll
Medieval
never get
settings
old
are
as the
so fun
monster
for that.
concept of like too cute to not pet but will kill you. That's always
Yeah.
a timeless concept.
Oh yeah, like that Monty Python rabbit.
Yeah.
It's a classic for a reason.
Oh,
I gotta
man.
put this back in place.
Oh,
There we go.
classic. All right.
One of these days, I'll be able to lock this OBS stuff where it belongs.
Someday.
No.
Not today.
I can hope. I can hope.
I'm an optimist. I'm just gonna say no.
No
I'll save you
chance.
the pain later. Just give up.
Optimist and realist. He's the whole package, ladies.
Oh, man. All right. I think that's all I have for today. What about you, Orion? Got anything else?
No, but let's see. You know what? So since he's the whole package, can we expect wedding bells in the Felix Dingo future? Is that going to be like a big ol' announcement? at some point?
Personal.
It's not gonna be a big old announcement because that's personal.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Like there will be wedding bells. In fact, the plans had to the plans have been kind of messed up lately.
I
Like
feel
we've
that.
been meaning to get married for a long time. It's at this point we're like this close to just eloping. So just get it done. Sign the paper. Like, come on.
I definitely feel that.
It's been
It's
well
been-
over a
yeah.
decade, and it's not for like not knowing if we're gonna stick together. It's just like, oh, we have to plan the formality. We gotta invite the guests and all that stuff. Like we want it,
Man,
we're
this is so much
excited,
work.
but at the same
It
time, we could be
is.
writing D&D. It would cut into
From what
that.
I've heard about weddings and stuff, it's exhausting. So give it
Well,
time.
Exactly. No, it's like if I'm gonna have a big old party, I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
So
hell
Yeah.
I'm taking my time with it.
Honestly, just like close friends, good enough. Like, as a guy that's been married for the better part of a decade, well, actually a whole decade, as of a couple months ago,
Congratulations.
I am actually very anti-marriage in the sense of that there's not much that you get out of a marriage that you don't get from a domestic partnership. Just sign a paper
Oh,
to call it a day.
valid.
I like how it sounds like, as a married man, run.
Don't do it.
I got 4 kids. Do not.
Look at me. Don't be like this.
Look at this. I'm a happy married man, okay?
Emphasis on happy.
I'm so
Oh my
happy.
God.
My wife is totally not behind me with a gun. I am a happy man. Ha ha ha.
Oh my god.
Yeah. We are glad to hear that you and Dingo have been together for a long time, and we wish you many more on that one.
Man, and it has
Thank
been
you.
great having you.
Thank you very much for having me. I mean, you guys are a lot of fun, so I'm glad I got a chance to be here and chat with you guys.
And for the people who don't know who you are, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Felix Irnich, or sometimes on the Dingo Doodles YouTube channel when I'm involved in some of the videos. Rarely, but sometimes.
I did see the recent one about the dire Tarask, and I was like, this is great.
I promised people I would make that video, so I'm glad I finally got it out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm playing with some new video formats at the moment of like how I can make more, but animated videos take a long time to make. So
They do. They do.
Yeah, they do. We hope to get them someday.
yeah, but we're always prioritizing like Dingo's like Fool's Gold episodes. Like those
Mm.
always take priority. Everything else comes second.
Right.
Absolutely. Because, like, I love the Fool's Gold episodes, but at the same time,
you.
like, I know that lots of people love the whenever you do like your little Felix episodes, like it's Felix. I wasn't expecting this.
Jump scare.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice little side project.
Love
All
it.
right. Ryan, you want to go ahead and send us off?
All right, this has been Dungeons and Talk Shows. Y'all have a great weekend. You can find us on the Twitters, the YouTubes, wherever podcasts be casting, and enjoy the weekend,
And we
everybody.
hope you join us
Boy.
next time on this show.
Yeah, and enjoy your holidays. You know, Christmas is coming up.
Oh yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
He's got the tree and everything in the background.
Oh yeah.
Christmas is my favorite holiday, so I am so
festive.
fucking ready for Christmas.
Everyone,
Fuck
have
yeah.
a fantastic holidays out there. We love you. Thank you for listening and watching.
All right.